Happy Friday, my YouTube peeps. I have a battle here for you again against Sharpedo43. This time it's an underused match. We've fought a couple times in the past, and he's a good challenger. So let's go ahead and get into it. And as you can probably tell by the length of this video, it is a very close match and a very long match. So I hope that you will enjoy. Anyway, so he leads with Gardevoir, as I decided to lead with Azelf. Kind of a blast from the past, I know. Azelf is so 4th gen, but I decided to go with it this time. And he's going to surprise me right off the bat by outspeeding me, which basically means this is definitely a Choice Scarf Gardevoir. Gardevoir is not a very fast Pokemon, so it has to be Choice Scarf in order to outspeed Azelf, as I just set up my Stealth Rocks. And yeah, he's just going to go into Salamence now, which is an interesting choice, as he gets the Intimidate. And I'm also going to double switch, because I didn't want to get 2-hit KO'd, obviously. So I go into my Snorlax, because it's, you know, really bulky and stuff to special moves, and yeah, I really don't have anything to do to this, though. So I decided to go out into my Vaporeon, as he just goes for the Defog, which does get rid of my hazards, so it's a pretty good play, although it is at least I got that 25% off on the Salamence, you know? Oh well, he goes into Goodra now, as I'm just going to go for the Wish, not really knowing what he's going to do. And let's just say this Goodra is not what I expected. I've seen a lot of different kinds of Goodras, but never before a Choice Banded one. Which is apparently this. He has Outrage, and he just goes for it. And, yeah, I'm pretty sure the thing is Choice Banded. As you can see, it does a little over half, so I'm just going to go ahead and Protect again for the extra leftovers recovery, not to mention to stop his Outrage, so that's pretty legit. I'm going to switch out now, and he also switches, and he goes out into Milotic. So, apparently the Protect stops his Outrage, so that's pretty cool. I'm just going to go for, actually, I don't switch out. I go for another Wish here. So I basically have, you know, I can do really anything. I can switch into anything, and I don't really think this Milotic can kill much. Even if he predicts it and goes for the Ice Beam against my Celebi, obviously I do have the Wish, so it's not going to be able to do much. And he does actually predict that and goes for the Ice Beam, but due to my Wish, it doesn't really matter. I'm just actually going to try to go for the Swords Dance, thinking that he might switch, and he actually predicts that Swords Dance, which was a really excellent play on his part, and hazes, which, yeah, I did not show the Celebi set at all yet, so that's a pretty good play. But now he is going to switch out in Houndoom, as I decide just to go for the Seed Bomb, and yeah, obviously he doesn't do anything. And looking at his team, I know that this is Mega Evolution, because he can't use Mega Gardevoir, being that that's OU. And he can't actually use Mega Sharpedo either, because this is a not an ORAS battle, this is a X and Y battle. So it made it pretty obvious that he was going to try Mega Houndoom. Anyway, he does have Super Fang, which is a pretty cool move in my opinion for Houndoom. Very good toolbox move in general in my opinion. But yeah, I'm just actually going to Protect, trying to get Lefty's recovery back. And now that he goes back into Goodra, I see no reason not to Protect again, to get some additional recovery. Plus, as I said, I think this thing is Choice Banded, so I wanted to see what it would lock itself into, and it does lock itself into a Grass move. So, assuming that this thing is Choice Banded, I decided to switch out now into Crobat, who X4 resists Grass, as he does indeed go for another Power Whip. And, yeah, I actually take that pretty well, despite the crit, and he is going to switch, obviously, not wanting to continue his Power Whips against my Crobat. So he's going to get the Intimidate here with Salamence, as I just go for a U-turn, not knowing what he would do, figuring I can get a good matchup against whatever he decides to go into, or if he stays in, I can obviously just go into something else that resists Grass. So, yeah, I'm just going to go into Vaporeon. I do have Ice Beam on this thing, and I don't think he's going to risk staying in. He ends up twitching back into Milotic here, which is a good move because it resists Ice, but I'm just going to get off the Wish anyway. You know, it gives me a lot of power, you know. I can really do anything now. I can switch out, and that's obviously what I'm going to do. And no matter what I switch out into, it's going to be able to recover. And he does go for the Ice Beam again, knowing that I'd go out into Celebi, which is, you know, a good play. But I do heal back to full. Now, this time I decided just to go for the Seed Bomb right off the bat instead of trying to set up the Swords Dance. He goes right into Houndoom, though, so that's not really going to do a whole lot. But, actually, it does a nice chunk to this Houndoom. It's half dead now, so good job, Celebi, kind of. So I go into Vaporeon. And that's a pretty obvious play, thinking that he might try to go for a fire move, but instead he just goes for another Super Fang, which does cripple my Vaporeon quite a lot, because now I'm at just below half. He's going to go out into Goodra again, and after a leftovers recovery, you know, after 2 leftovers recovery, sorry, I'm kind of thinking I could take an Outrage from this thing. Looking at how much it did for the first time, and he doesn't lock himself into Outrage, I think, okay, I have a little bit more than half of my health. I bet I can go ahead and get off a Wish and survive this Outrage. No, I can't. I probably should have been paying closer attention to how much that first one did, because I totally did not live that. No crit, no nothing, just I died, so I don't know. That's not good. I go into Crobat now. I'm just going to get off a Choice Bandit to Brave Bird, and that is going to take out the Goodra, but I really did not want to lose Vaporeon looking at his team. It's definitely a major loss, so he took it out, and that was a good play. So I go out into Celebi now, and he predicts that and goes for the Crunch. So what can I say? The guy is actually predicting my switches really nicely, and being that I have really nothing on my team that can actually safely switch into Sharpedo, I'm just going to let Celebi die, which obviously isn't ideal, but I really don't have much of a choice. I had to sack something because pretty much everything on my team at this point will get 2A KO'd by this Sharpedo, so it just really was not a very good situation as he continues to get the speed boost. Now I do go into Snorlax. Sharpedo is made out of paper, so I know for a fact I should be able to, like, take it out, but he is going to switch out into Milotic, which is a good play. We already know this thing carries the Haze. This is a Curse Lax, so, yeah, Haze is actually kind of threatening, but at the very least, I want to get the Paralysis off. Now, I know that will set off Marvel Scale, so I'm just going to go for the, Body Slam, trying to paralyze it, and I do end up getting it. And I know this is just set up Marvel Scale, but I figure it's a 25% chance now for him to, miss his turn. So that's going to allow me to maybe set up some curses. At the very least, it'll force him to Haze. And being that he is going to miss now 25% of his turns, I figure that I might be able to get a boosted Body Slam off at some point. Plus, it's going to help me conserve Body Slam PP, because at this rate, I'm going to lose Body Slam PP fairly quickly, because, let's face it, I don't have a whole lot. I do have 2 attacking moves on this Snorlax, but still, you want to be able to conserve PP. I am running out of bits, so I'm just going to go for the Curse. I know that he obviously can just go for the Haze, but fortunately for me, after a Curse, I still outspeed this thing due to the Paralysis, so that's pretty neat. So, yeah, and there you go. There's a Paralysis there, so I'm going to be able to get off another boosted Body Slam if I want to. So at least there's that. If I can get a crit off on this Milotic, I might be able to take it out, and or if I get a convenient Paralysis turn, so there's that. But, yeah, here comes the Haze, and I'm just going to go for a Curse again, because as I said, looking at that, I feel like I can maybe stall out this Milotic. I know that he can't really do much to me either. The worst he can do is burn me off with Scald, but I do have Rest on this Snorlax. It is a, a Resto-Chesto set, so even if he does get a burn, I can just get rid of it, and, yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident about that. Either way, he goes into Salamence instead of staying in, which is a good play. He gets the Intimidate, but now I just have basically a +1 defense. But as you can see, Body Slam nearly killed this thing, and I'm just going to go Rest now. I don't know if that's a misplay or not, but I knew that after another Dragon Claw, it would put me in pretty low health. And, yeah, I'm going to use my Gesto Berry. Maybe it was a little early for that, I don't know, but, either way, I'm just going to get up another Curse now. So now I have +2 defense and +1 attack. I'm just going to go for that, Body Slam, not knowing if I'll really outspeed this Milotic now, because I do have -2 speed. And as you can see, it does outspeed me despite his Paralysis, and fortunately for me, it was a Paralysis turn, so yeah. Now here, I end up outspeeding it, so this must be actually a speed tie with me -2 speed stages, -2 speed stages, with it being paralyzed, which is 1/4. Sorry, I think it's I think it's 1/4 its normal speed. So that was pretty fortunate for me, because now I do outspeed and end up taking out the Milotic, which is really important, because it definitely was a problem for my Snorlax. So I go for the Earthquake against this Houndoom. He does get his Super Fang off, which does a lot of damage, but I am able to take out the Mega Houndoom, which was pretty cool. But now he goes into Gardevoir, and he does something I kind of didn't expect, and I really should have expected it, knowing that this thing was Choice Scarfed. I decided to go for the Rest, thinking that he'll probably hit me with a special move, and I just want to get HP back, but he ends up locking me into Rest, which kind of kills this sweep. I have to switch out, because obviously I'm locked into Rest, and I'm not going to wake up anymore because I don't have the Gesto Barrier. I have to wait 2 turns. And yeah, I go to Rhyperior, not because I believe Rhyperior can take a hit from this thing, But basically, I need to Death Fight or something, and looking at my team, unfortunately, Rhyperior is not too useful anymore, so I just decided to Death Fighter that, and here I go into Azelf, and this was a key play of the game. I thought he might go into Sharpedo or stay in. I go for the explosion. I should have just went for the knockoff, which I did have. Would have been so much better of a play looking back on it, but instead I was so sure he's going to go into Sharpedo, so I went for the explosion, but he ends up just sacking his Salamence, which was an excellent player on his part, and I go into my Snorlax now, and at this point, if his Pokemon, if his Sharpedo has Protect, as most Sharpedos do, he basically has this in the bag. On the double switch, I get off, switch into Snorlax, so he gets a switch into Gardevoir, and yeah, I'm just going to have to wait 2 turns to wake up. But by the time I'm able to wake up, I'm not going to be able to take a hit from the Sharpedo. And at the very least, going to give me a switch into my Crobat, which is, well, actually, no, he's going to be able to kill my Snorlax. Now I go into Crobat, which is actually what I wanted, because at this point, it's my only chance to win. My only hope is that his Sharpedo, for some reason, does not carry Protect. But let's face it, they all do, because they have Speed Boost, which, you know, just an obvious move to carry. If you have Speed Boost, you should carry Protect. Let's just see if this guy carries Protect or not. If I can hit it with a Brave Bird, I win. No, he does have Protect, so that's a good game. He's going to be able to outspeed me, even despite the fact I'm a Crobat now that he has a Speed Boost, and he's going to beat me out with a Crunch, but still a very, very close game. Could have gone either way, I feel, but he made the key plays. I didn't. It was an excellent match, Sharpedo43. We're going to have to do another one real soon. 51 turns. That's a very, very long game. Let's go to today's question of the day. So in every Pokemon generation, they always add new Pokemon with unique type combinations. So today's question today is, what kind of new type combination would you like to see? Only use, obviously, existing types, but a type combination that does not actually exist in a Pokemon yet. I actually have 2 that I want to throw out there. One is Fire Grass, which it still amazes me that there is no Fire Grass Pokemon yet. I mean, there's a lot of concepts I can think of, you know, about such a Pokemon, and it actually would be pretty decent, as far as resistances go. Fire and Grass does synergize quite a bit, so it would be a pretty interesting Pokemon. The other one is Ghost Normal, which would be pretty neat, like some kind of undead ferret, maybe. I don't know, maybe an undead Dustbuster. But obviously, Ghost types are immune to fighting Normal's only weakness. So, and not to mention, Normal is immune to Ghost, which is Ghost's one of Ghost's weaknesses. So it'd actually be a very, very strong defensive typing. But anyway, leave a comment about that, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Later.